streaming. Huzzah.
Streaming.
Special stream. Ah.
There goes. I got it live over here too.
Great.
We're all good.
Well, I've got pens here that I'll be using. All multi-liners. One disposable. And I've got a little eraser in case I need anything, but I think this is pretty tight. So another thing that I need is I'm going to disengage this here. I'm going to bring this back so I can have my reference. Okay. Did you have a particular picture of Ray that you were looking at, or no?
No, I was just looking at a number of them to try and get
Just making sure.
the shapes of his face.
All right.
Looking for something?
Yeah, just looking for a good shot of him. Getting one of the Ghostbusters goggles. And one of him. All right. Okay. I think we can all see this. Pretty sure. There we go. We're gonna start with Ray.
A ray of sunshine. Waka waka waka.
I love you. You're my favorite in the world. There we go. That's perfect. All right. Well, special patron stream. Now it's starting for reals.
Yeah.
Do a little thing.
It's time straight now.
Your one eye is good, but it's a little bit far away. I know. I have to move it in though, because his eyes are actually like really close together if you look at the actor.
Sure.
How's the Lord of the Rings going over there, honey bun?
It's going okay.
Yeah. Are you enjoying your work over there?
I am. I'm actually looking into this synagogue shooting. We just heard about the mass shooting in Pittsburgh.
So what exactly did happen? Like anything particular? I mean...
Guy walks in with an AR-15 and 3 handguns and just opens fire. 11 people killed, 6 more injured, including 4 police officers.
So 4 police officers died too?
4 police officers were injured.
Injured.
2 of them are in critical condition, but they haven't actually died yet.
Good Lord. Jesus H. Christ. Well, this is not exactly the way I meant to start this fun Halloween stream.
Yeah, I know.
I'm here to draw the fucking Ghostbusters. I am upset with the people of the world that wanna shit all over everybody's parade and do terrible stuff. Because we're just here having a nice enough time, doing good work, going about our days. You know, in their case, worshiping their God, and somebody's got to be a shithead.
Yeah.
Well, terrible actions aside, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, Megan's sad. It's definitely a sad face kind of evening. It's been such a good day.
It was
we were
such
having
a good day.
Great day. This is really.
I found out that the other guy sending pipe bombs was hilarious. Terrible yet hilarious. Like maybe the most Florida man I could have ever dreamed of.
It really was like, could this have been any more of a stereotype?
I'm sure you could make a very like humorous and sad and tragic movie about that fucking guy. That would be part comedy, part like shot to the gut. Well, Megan, since you are the person who is here, and I know other people are coming, but I told me they're coming later. How are you doing, Megan? How are your kids? We are going to start a special conversation with just you. How about that, Mr. Withers?
She says it was a beautiful day, spent in the park with family, got home and heard about it too. Yeah. Yeah, I only just was checking on Twitter and I saw that Pittsburgh was trending, or Pittsburgh synagogue was trending, and I wondered what that was all about.
You were like, wait a second, this isn't a sports team. This is
another thing. Right.
Because a sports team, like, that's just, you know, it's a thing that happens on Twitter.
I'd have been like, what, did the Steelers actually do something?
Backhanded burn on the Steelers. Hey, honey buns.
Yeah, baby.
Before you start streaming on your own over there, would you get me some more water? Because I love you.
Sure.
Because you're my favorite.
Kind of surprised you didn't get this yourself.
You know, I meant to, and then I just got caught up with a lot of other things. Sometime tonight, I'm going to have to show how we're coming on the Lord of the Rings thing because it's looking very nice, I think.
Comfort is pleased.
I am pleased. I am. Megan said another thing.
Looking forward to Halloween. Yeah, I hope that we can have some decent weather for Halloween. It seems like Michigan always wants to have a crap Halloween. is rare that we get a Halloween where you can actually just enjoy being out in the evening.
Here, I can read this one if you want to start the other thing.
Okay, myself up and going.
So this Ghostbusters image here, actually I laid out too, and Adam laid out too. So I did Winston and Egon, and Adam did Ray and Spangler, or Venkman, sorry. That would be Egon Spangler.
Did we get a lot of trick-or-treaters? We got a handful. Yeah, we've got...
you know, most of the time we're not here because we're at...
we're usually at a con. This will be the first year in a while that we're home for Halloween.
But we'll be doing a stream during, well, the 10 o'clock hour.
Sure. So a lot of kids will be done by then.
Whaddya, I can't have you on my lap, but you could go to Uncle Adam. Yeah. What are your kids going as? Hi, I know. Your life. Our cats are going as our cats, just FYI. They're going as the friendly neighborhood, children of the neighborhood. That sounded weird. But yes, they'll go say hi to every trick-or-treater. Because our cats are terribly friendly. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah, you'll go say hi to all the children, huh? Uncle Adam, can you call the Winnykins to you?
It just occurs to me I'm not going to have any audio live streaming over here.
You want to do it with the drawing?
What?
Like if you did the drawing, would you have any audio with the...
I guess that's true. But I'll have to... So...
Well, we're going to be doing this a while, so... For everybody who wants to come in and out.
Yep, alright. I'll end the stream, set up the drawing stuff, and do that instead. Maddie is an angel, Logan is Mickey Mouse. Kitty costume is classic, yeah. It always works.
I can tell you are depressed by today's recent events.
It was, yeah. It took me rather by surprise.
Usually, Adam can get more excited by Halloween and stuff.
Usually.
Well, I think those are really cute costumes. I hope that it's warm. Michigan does have a way of always like sneaking up on you, and you always have such a fantastic and perfect costume. And then life is like, nope. I was trying to tell my students about the black and orange candies. I bet Megan knows what the black and orange candies are. You know what the black and orange candies are, right?
It's a kind of candy. It comes in black and it comes in orange. And it's got like the big like twisty ties on either end, sort of like a peppermint pinwheel.
Yeah, but it's vaguely like weirdly peanut butter, but not. But
it
sort of. I can't even place the flavor of it.
Yeah, I can't place the flavor either, other than to say bad.
Yeah, I hate
and it has a consistency kind of similar to the. What do they call those carnival peanuts? The candy peanut things?
Yeah, I suppose
it's kind of spongy, but kind of like taffy.
Yes, Megan does remember this.
It's awful.
They were terrible. And my students are like, what are you talking about? And the students are, you know, they're between 21 and 24. Like, that's my age group that I'm teaching. And they're all like, huh? I was like, you are lucky and you don't even realize it.
They don't.
And this is what I would say to Megan's children is like all the candy, my guess, you can tell me because you know this and I don't, because I only know what we give away. Like, I remember as a kid, people who actually gave away like mini candy bars were amazing. They were rare. And every once in a while, you'd hit a house that was giving away whole candy bars.
I feel like so many people our age hated the candy we got when we were kids, and a lot of us now in our 30s and 40s are like, we're not going to be that house.
No.
We're going to have good stuff.
Did you have people who gave, like, weird candy apples and stuff like that, like that make homemade treats?
No, because nobody would ever do something like that.
Oh no, the older people in our neighborhood would, and you'd be like, okay, fine.
No, if you tried to do that in our neighborhood, the moms would come and yell at you. God forbid you give something awesome, like homemade cookies or something. Always the leftover candy after all the good candy. Yeah, yep. Because you're a kid and you want to eat it because it's candy. You know it's kind of for you. It's like you'd watch cartoons that you didn't like, but because they were cartoons, it's like, well, it is for me, so... Megan's parents did full-size candy bars?
Your parents were they trying to family?
Were they trying to like bribe the neighborhood kids or something?
Were they like, oh my God?
When the Lord of the Flies comes, we'll be the last house standing.
Because I remember being a kid and like one person would hear about around the corner there's somebody giving out like full-size candy or good candy, and you're like, fuck yes. And then all of you guys beeline for that place. You're like, I don't know what these other houses have, but I hear this one is good. And then the worst thing is you get to the fabled house, and the fabled house is like, oh, we just ran out. And you're like, God damn it. Now, what do you guys give out, Megan?
Oh, she says, I've always wanted to get a cotton candy machine and give it out fresh.
Oh,
her dad loves Halloween. Yeah, Halloween is a pretty great one. My mom would always complain about making the costumes because me and Amy would want really elaborate costumes because she made such cool ones. And even though she complained, boy, did she love showing it off when she'd done it. So,
I think your mom has a way of, let's see here.
She puts up a fuss.
She puts up a fuss, but she actually likes things. Yeah. Like, can I say it? So we have a few Jewish friends, and all of them claim that Adam is actually a New York Jew.
They are surprised that I am not of their people.
Yes. And I would say...
Our friend Ian especially is always like, how are you not one of us?
Like, are you sure? He saw a picture of us eating Chinese food for Christmas, and he's like, what?
You're one of us! Stop pretending!
But
it's okay. They won't hurt you.
I think
it's a
Adam
different time now.
And his pseudo-Jewishness comes from his mother. I am convinced that Adam's mother's side of the family is actually in their past Jewish, but they stopped talking about it.
I mean, the maiden name is Schwartz, so somewhere back there.
You guys
somewhere back there, but it's
a Hasidic past.
Many generations removed because nobody like my mom, my grandmother, her parents and family, it is not at all spoken of in any way. So
now they came to this country and they tried to assimilate.
I don't know if you were trying to do a horse thing with Theoden, but it kind of looks like one of those Final Fantasy Moogles on his crown.
I was looking, that's what it is.
We might do some touch up.
It's fine. That's what it is.
It's just really cute because it looks like...
Yeah, I was like, this does look cute, but
a
I'm
little
going to try
anime
and be
character.
Okay. I mean, we can do whatever we want. Adam is reading the stream. Did you read the stream?
She's in agreement that who knows what might be lurking in the depths of Adam's genetic history.
Yes. Wasn't like the Mata an Aussie and you were a Jew?
Yeah, we in high school we would make fun of each other for things that we weren't, because by the logic of 16-year-old boys, it's not offensive if you're not actually that thing. Yeah. Oh boy. The 90s were a whole other decade, baby. Whole other decade.
And
where's the pen bag at?
The pen bag?
Yeah, because I need to have some pens too now.
Oh, right here. Hold on.
Under her feet.
There it is. This was hiding there the whole time. It's like unmasking a Scooby villain. Like every one of the things that we could have drawn this time around, man, I would have loved. Ghostbusters is amazing, and it's probably my favorite of all of them. But I'm always disappointed for the other ones that we don't get to draw.
That's true. There's so much that we could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle is joining us. Finally, YouTube was keeping her quiet. Well, I'm glad you can pipe up.
Yeah, Michelle!
I am almost set over here, so people who want to can double stream it and watch me working on our Lord of the Rings on Twitch.
That's right.
While Comfort continues her work on Ghostbusters here.
Oh my gosh, so Michelle...
Ghostbusters
is making a comic.
What's she gonna make it?
What's she gonna make the comic?
I mean, she's making a comic. What?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure.
Okay, turn this mic down just a little bit.
What? My mic or
no,
your
my
mic?
mic, because it's in the camera and I'm gonna be like hovering right over the camera while it's on.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, I think I'm good.
And you guys, whatever topics like you want us to talk about, we don't have to just talk about Halloween. I mean, we could talk about Halloween all night long. But any old thing or any old question.
Up and live on Twitch.
Yes. So Adam, what's one of your favorite Halloween stories? And we'll also ask you guys, what are your favorite Halloween stories?
One year, my friend Eric Carlson and I were going to do theme costumes. The theme was that we were going to green ourselves. So he was going to be the Hulk and I was going to be Two-Face. And I say I, but almost entirely my mom made an amazing Two-Face costume. This was the animated Two-Face, mind you, so it's the nice gangster suit.
Mm-hmm.
It's half black and half white. And I figured out how to do my face all awesome and everything. Super pleased with it. And it was finally a Michigan appropriate costume because no matter what the temperature was, I'm just wearing a suit, like a full suit, so I was going to be warm enough no matter what.
Like this works. And don't worry, you don't have to watch both streams, Michelle. You just have to have the one. You can still hear Adam at either.
But when the day came, poor Eric wasn't able to get his Hulk costume together. I think his parents weren't a fan of him dressing as the Hulk. They were hyper religious and controlling, and he had to go as a clown instead.
Oh no!
You have never seen a more disappointed boy than poor Eric when he saw my badass Two-Face costume, and here he was forced to be a clown because his parents didn't think that the Hulk was appropriate.
Terrible. So is that a favorite or like an interesting?
It's just a memory that I have.
I have a memory of adult me going trick-or-treating. And adult me, let's see here. Yes, you can always mute Twitch and, you know, you don't have to hear an echo of us.
Yes, you do.
I love you very much.
Hear our words twice.
Me and some of my friends from college, this is our first year in college, so this is 1999, because we're old. Right, honey?
We are
That's right.
Not young.
Not young. We're not as old as we could be.
But we're not as young as we feel.
Word. So we went out and we dressed up and we went trick-or-treating as college kids, and it was fantastic. And
wait, you went trick-or-treating and like you dressed up as college kids? That was your costume?
No. That's the asshole college kid costume. No, we went full out. Like, we were all dressed up as particular things. Like, that was my year to be the icy bride.
Where's your costume,
yes.
kid? I'm dressed up as the guy that's gonna throw his own feces on your house if you don't give me fucking candy, old man.
And that's why they're making laws. College kids who ruin it for everybody else. But we did that, and then we went to see Rocky Horror Picture Show. And on the way out, we had a person stop us, and they had those religious tracks.
Well,
and yeah, and maybe I wasn't the icy bride that year. I was probably I was the icy bride the next year. I was dressed as like a ninja hooker. That's what I was.
That sounds like you.
Yeah, that sounds like me. And that was an excuse to use. I literally did my makeup in part with markers, which was probably a mistake, but it looked fantastic. And everybody else got one track, and when they looked at me, I got 8. So I got to take home 8 tracks, and I think we kept the favorite one, and that's Party Girl. I think that's still, Adam, if I'm correct, in the keepsakes.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Religious tracks, for those who aren't aware, were like little mini comics that were produced by religious organizations to try and shame and terrify children into obeying God's will as these organizations saw it. They featured such greatest hits as an anti-D&D pamphlet that suggested once you reached 8th level
you
in
D&D,
you were inducted into a cult of the devil and Satan took your soul. Which, having played D&D, I was certain was probably not happening.
But there were many parents who like 100% believe that. And so
their
kids could not play D&D.
Oh yeah. My poor friend Eric, who couldn't dress as the fucking Hulk because his parents thought that it was inappropriate.
Are you going to read the stream? Or
Shadow's here. Hey,
Yay.
Shadow.
So there's a couple of stories there.
Yeah.
You want to read the stories?
Let's see. Michelle says, as a kid, Mom made all my costumes. She was a wizard with a sewing machine. Mine too. She was amazing.
All our moms. Excellent seamstresses.
But she made our costumes to have our winter coats under them. Oh my god, my mom did too. So school parties, we looked like we were wearing a costume way too big. But for the main event, we were awesome. See, my mom just would stitch extra under, like I did Robin one year, and she sewed in flesh-toned sleeves underneath the
Much to Ed's chagrin.
God, did I hate that so much.
It probably kept him from being sick, but at the time he really hated it.
I would rather have been sick.
Sounds like
I would rather have been
sick. Yeah, your mom would
and
rather
looked
you have
cool.
not been sick.
Hey, Randy's up on Twitch. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying the Gimli.
We're gonna see Randy tomorrow.
Yeah, it seemed appropriate to be working on fantasy stuff when we're gonna be playing the game tomorrow.
Hills, yeah, and I'm working on Ghostbusters over here. Whee!
Comfort's running the Patreon stream right now.
I am, and Megan's here and everything, and Shadow, and Michelle, it's great. We're telling stories, just interesting Halloween stories.
Yeah, it was definitely tough, because you want to be awesome, but you live in Michigan, and Michigan is going to snow, or sleet, or rain. It's going to ruin any hope you had of awesomeness.
Adam, do you want to?
Because your parents are not going to let you just go out there.
No, because your
with
parents.
Your cool-looking costume.
Your parents don't want to deal with you for the next 2 weeks when you're sick, and they don't want to deal with you out of school, and then they don't want to take off days.
Yeah,
because
you being at school is like the best part of their day. I'm not giving up mama time. Because this punk kid wants to wear a t-shirt for a Halloween costume in the rain.
I'm not going to have the whole family get sick, Adam. Jeez.
I'm far more sympathetic to the parents now.
Yes.
Even though I am not one.
I've always been sympathetic to the parent characters, though. It's just been my way. Adam's reading the stream. Do you want me to read the next one, or you want to read it? Adam's got it. Adam's doing his thing, which is reading the stream. He's gonna tell somebody's story, and it's gonna be fabulous.
Oh, Shadow is late because they were watching Hocus Pocus with the kids. As you should. Isaac, welcome aboard. Do-re. Egon, yeah, so good. 1,000,000,000,000 good jokes. Ghostbusters was like a mile a minute for the one-liners.
Adam is still
Shadow's final Halloween costume, made by his stepmother, costume of his then favorite and inspiration to create comics, Garfield. I feel like you don't run into a lot of kids who love Garfield these days. I myself was not a huge Garfield guy. He sort of seemed like a jerk.
Oh, and apparently Megan, their house was owned by people who did those. I'm guessing those religious tracts. That's my guess of what we're talking about. For the first few years, people would walk by.
Oh. Goo, keep a white berth.
Yes.
We do not want to mess with those people. They're going to make us feel guilty for having fun.
I wonder if that still happens, because...
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'm sure it does.
Do you think, like, with that kind of regularity? Like, because I don't know, I feel like even religious institutions mostly have been like, Halloween's pretty sweet.
Nope.
No, you don't think so? This is
Some
Randy.
of them do.
And Randy, I'm going to ask you. Because Randy likes his church.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but
his
I'm just
church
gonna
is
ask.
one thing,
I know.
but I'm saying
but
because it was never like
sure.
rational, sensible institutions going out handing out religious tracts to anybody.
No,
it was the cuckoos.
It was.
And there are still cuckoos out there. I promise you.
I know there's still cuckoos, but I know also like a lot of churches were like, well, like they were okay with it, but like asterisk. Like, but I don't know. It's just like dinosaurs. Like churches were like, you know what? Fuck you. Dinosaurs didn't exist.
Are a lie.
They're hoax. And then everybody's like, wait, but dinosaurs are real fucking cool. So, yes, they did exist. And here's the story behind that.
We're tired of losing parishioners because they think dinosaurs are awesome.
Because
We're
dinosaurs
now going
are
to
fucking
accept
badass.
dinosaurs, but it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah, but Jesus rode with the dinosaurs, right? Right, sweet.
Oh God, my favorite things in the world are the paintings of Jesus.
I love
riding
the
dinosaurs.
paintings of the Jesus riding with the dinosaurs.
I wish like hell
fantastic.
they could be true because Jesus was already dope as hell, but holy shit.
But Jesus also rode with dinosaurs, motherfuckers.
It does not get cooler than that. Like it just doesn't. I hated the hell out of Jurassic World. But boy, did I love the scene of him riding a motorcycle with raptors. I wanted it to be me.
Ah.
So badly.
Yeah.
We watched a video today in a slightly related story about a woman who was raising a rescued beaver. And this beaver would go around her home building little dams out of all of her stuff. He'd like take her laundry and he would pull down cushions off the couch and he'd drag them around the house to make little dams. It's the most darling thing in the world.
So Adam is reading the streams.
Megan was in a wedding when she was 6 and wore different versions of that dress for about 4 years. Bride, princess, Madonna when it got real short. Oh man, they were out in force at Art Prize with the Guilt comics apparently.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
For Art Prize? What's an Art Prize? It's fucking Grand Rapids.
Jehovah's Witnesses, yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses hate everything fun.
That's true.
You shouldn't be having fun. You should be staying at home and thinking about the Lord our God who died for you.
We had,
He died so that you could be miserable forever.
There was a person I made a comment on Facebook, and a lot of people replied, but they had a Jehovah's Witness who was like, you just shouldn't vote. It's not godly. And I was like, well,
I mean, we gotta run the system somehow.
Okay, dude.
Who's gonna be in charge? Who's gonna, like, just gonna sit around hoping that people do things the way that you think they do?
I don't know. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, but okay. I'm sure. Let's see here. I should scroll down on my list of things. Ba-ba-ba. Yes. Yes, Megan. Jesus dinosaurs. Amazing.
Seriously, just like Google it. You'll find the paintings. They're amazing.
And...
It's the most amazing nonsense you'll ever see.
And Michelle watched that beaver video. What?
Isn't it amazing? I have never wanted to own a beaver, but now I desperately do.
And Shadow has probably the best Halloween story, which was 11 years ago. He and Jamie got married. That's a pretty boss Halloween, if ever there was one. That would have been pretty sweet to get married on Halloween, Adam. That was not our wedding date, but that would have been awesome. I hope everything was themed, Shadow. That's very important. I know we had a lot of themes, didn't we, honey buns?
We sure did.
Megan, did you have a theme for your wedding?
Or was it
anybody
just
who had a wedding?
Getting married.
Yeah, did you guys have themes? I remember Randy's wedding, and mostly I'd say classy was maybe the theme. I would say very nice wedding.
Wedding.
With red accents. Theme wedding was not as much of a thing once upon a time. Was it, honey?
Man, nerds have made things like everything is cooler now.
And the internet. Like other people saw other people doing stuff and they were emboldened to do their own dorky thing. Which I think was great.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, I can do this. Anybody who's telling me no, I say yes. And look, somebody else pulled it off. So it can happen.
The internet has brought some good into this world. You just have to ask whether the balance is for the good.
We try. We all try. Let's see here. So Michelle says, I have a problem. If it is a squirrel, otter, rodent, red panda video, I've probably seen it. So we watched a thing with today, like 3 videos in a row. One was...
We did get on just a miniature roll with these things.
Yes, so somebody had posted a video like big cats with pumpkins. Which is simple enough, but it was quite entertaining.
But you've got to see, don't you?
Yeah, you were like, big
you
cats
hear
with
us
pumpkins.
say that, and you're like, actually, I do want to see those big cats with their pumpkins.
And it was pretty adorable. It was quite satisfying, was it not?
Absolutely.
We love those big cats with pumpkins. So we watched that, and then Adam saw on the side, was it the...
Beaver builds
a dam.
In the house.
So we watched Beaver build a dam in the house. And then we watched a whole thing of factoids with foxes.
I also want a fox.
So yeah, we get done and Adam's like, Comfort, I want a fox and a giant tiger and I want a beaver. And I'm like, yes, honey. We'll have all those things for your menagerie.
I wanna own a zoo that is my house.
Honey, if
all the animals will cuddle with me.
If Rainbow Reunions ever gets made into a fabulous movie or TV series,
we'll spend our money on exotic animals.
Yes, we'll be those assholes.
Hey.
We'll have to buy a lot of land if you really want to pull it off.
Those wonderful people, I think you mean.
When go to Uncle Adam.
You know, I am doing stuff here too.
I know, but you've actually got an open lap. I can give you one of these many towels that my cord rests on. Would you like that? And then the oneie can be on your lap? Because she's the oneiest. and she loves you. Is that true, Winnie? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Calls you a liar.
She does not. She just she's got a one-track mind, and that is only there and ready for snuggles. Just snuggles, just kitties, all the time. Let's see here. Megan says my wedding was in the fall, so we did a lot of fall colors. It was nice and warm sitting down to dinner, because at that point we were overdoing the YMCA and anyone else's wedding. Boring, small, intimate. Yay! Our wedding was kind of a production for the actual wedding, like kind of.
We had a Justice of the Peace service first.
Oh, well, yes.
In December the year prior for tax and student loan purposes.
Yes. Because we were like, wait a minute, we can get how much?
We can get how much of a better deal on our student aid if we don't have to include our parents' income? Oh boy. Sign us up.
Yep.
Though I didn't realize that a Justice of the Peace wedding, they actually had you do like the full actual service. I thought you just like signed some papers and went home. So when the guy starts like doing the service, and then it's like, repeat after me, I blah blah blah, and I'm just looking at him like,
what?
Oh, okay, we're doing the thing. Sure.
Oh no, Winnie. You cannot as go. I can show you though. There's Winnie.
Damn right, a cuddle zoo.
Hi, Winnie.
Yeah, the Matt Damon movie.
Oh.
But then you're watching a Matt Damon movie. He said kidding, because I don't actually have beef with Matt Damon, but I know you can score some easy comedy points by making fun of him. Ditto Ben Affleck.
Uncle Adam, please call me to you and put me on your lap. I'm going to toss something to you. Yeah. Ready?
Yep.
Go on, Winnie. Uncle Adam wants you. Yeah. See, yes, she's very happy now.
Come here, come here.
Yeah.
Come here. She's nervous because of the crane of my setup here.
There she goes.
Into the lap.
Kitties. Oh, Shadow wants a fox so bad.
I think a fox is my spirit animal.
Because it's naughty?
Kind of.
And he gets into stuff?
If I was an animal, I would be Disney's Robin Hood. Tell me that's not true. Oh
no, that sounds about right. Winnie, why? I give Uncle Adam the thing and everything.
She needs total attention. I'm not able
Nobody
to give
is giving
undivided
you the attention.
attention.
Kitties! Ah!
All right.
By the way, you're paying attention to the Twitch stream and
I am.
stuff too.
Yep. I mean, we didn't really announce that we were
No, we
doing
did not do
it.
any announcing for
Sort of.
Twitch. So this is a small crowd. Ooh, me. I love you. Frankly, we're gonna see how far, we can get in these things tonight, because this is a lot.
Yeah.
But I really was adamant about all 4 Ghostbusters.
She really was.
I just like Ghostbusters a lot. And I don't know when the last time we were asked to draw Ghostbusters was.
I don't know if we've ever.
I don't know if we've ever either. Like, people have played with the idea, like, what would it cost if I did all 4? And then people are like,
I think that's the problem, is you don't
they want all 4.
one a Ghostbuster.
But I, for one, love Ghostbusters, so being able to do all of them was exciting. I love it. Let's see here. Looking back on my stream. Let's see here.
Let's look up some reference on this bow. Get some ideas.
Yeah, we all want a cuddle do.
Seriously.
That's right, guys. Kitty can. Shadow wants to eventually get remarried and have an actual wedding. Well, that would be fantastic.
They are cool, but they're a tremendous amount of work.
They are a tremendous amount of work. I will never want to do the wedding thing again. Hassle. I think we'd have more autonomy over things.
Yes.
Because we're older now.
There was an awful lot of that wedding that we got sort of arm twisted into doing by our parents and family who...
Some friends and...
Yeah.
You just sort of get railroaded.
They were sort of the opinion that the wedding isn't just yours, it's also for the family. Which I feel like was the unfortunate result of us being the first kids in the family to get married.
We're both the oldest in our families. But really, like, my family, my sister Sunshine got married and she had a very unique Sunshine wedding, and then my brother Steve got married, but he didn't really, like, do anything. Not really anything at all, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So there was, I don't know, there was nothing for the families to really, like, get in on otherwise. So, like, the only, like, really big, more traditional wedding that happened in the family was ours. And that will probably be the only one that ever does happen. Adam is reading the stream.
You should get that thing where you can give pet treats over the internet so we can entertain the kitties. That's even a thing? I mean, I guess I'm surprised...
Of course
that I'm surprised. Of course it's a thing, but still.
Amazing. Adam is reading the stream.
No, I'm checking out bow.
Alright, I will read the stream then. Let's see here. Apparently it is off enough to have both sounds. Yeah, Michelle, probably don't have both sounds. I don't think there's value to having those sets of sounds here. I think it's a lovely idea that doesn't quite work out. So, Mr. Withers, any other, like, Halloween stories that you remember fondly?
I honestly don't have a lot of Halloween memories. I remember a lot of sitting around after and me and my sister haggling over our candy trades. That was like half the fun of Halloween was the candy market between me and my sister after, where we would go through what we got, and I would organize all of my candy into specific piles by type and by flavor, by size and by substance. And then once I had my piles organized properly, we could begin. All right, Amy, what do you got? What do you need?
Yep, that's what me and my siblings would do. I got a question for you. Did you, at a Halloween party, was that where you told me that you loved me for the first time? Adam? I feel like it was.
Maybe, might have been.
Yep, 2 weeks. I think that checks out. So me and Adam are walking, taking a walk, getting away from the party for a minute, and we're walking around the neighborhood where this Halloween party is at. And we're all dressed up, and Adam is dressed up as...
The devil.
The devil. Yep, and that is the year that I was the Ice Sprite.
Specifically, I was...
the U2 devil.
Mr. Mephisto, the alternate identity concocted by Bono for the Zoo TV tour. based upon the devil. Which, like, nobody in this is going to get. But
maybe Randy.
It was one of those with, yeah, well, Randy will just roll his eyes because, of course, Adam would do that. But it's one of those where it works on one level as just being the devil so everybody can sort of get it and haha, nice costume. But I knew the extra level, and it made it more special for me.
You were quite pleased with yourself.
I was quite pleased with myself. And why shouldn't I be?
Yeah.
Randy's talking about, oh my, she loved his wedding. Oh, I love the people they could have there. Being able to share it with those people, present company included.
Yeah,
it was a really good time.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves the bar bill we racked up because we had a blast. Nice.
I want to just say that we did not help at the bar bill.
He also is rewatching Avatar as he finishes up some notes for tomorrow. Not sure how he feels about it. Which Avatar? Are you talking the film, the James Cameron film, or the animated series? Because those are two very different things. Although I love both for very different reasons. I'm a little disappointed that James Cameron, who's one of my favorite directors, basically disappeared off the planet so that he could spend his whole life putting together Avatar sequels that we may or may not ever get to see. But boy, if we do, I am really, really curious to see what he's doing with those.
To be fair, he's an older gentleman now.
He is. And he's done enough good.
You don't
that
have
he
to
can really,
keep doing things forever.
He's old enough that he can make his own choices.
You earn it.
Yeah.
I want to finish the story.
Oh, I'm
Adam.
sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry. So we're taking a walk, and we're talking about things. Do you remember how it even happened?
I don't. I remember the moment that it happened. I don't really. I mean, you can imagine.
Yes.
My heart was racing. My adrenaline was crazy. I was not exactly in a position to be making permanent memories.
And did it just slip out, do you think? Or like, were you
was...
this is a very, like, thoughtful decision, like, I must say this?
I feel like it was probably a combination of really wanting to say it, but also kind of slipped out. Like, it felt like this could be a time that I could say it. This could be the moment to do. And it would be this thing and that thing, and then next thing I know, my mouth was moving, and I was like, wait, no, abort! But it was too late.
Aren't you glad I said I love you too?
And it was a relief. I mean, it's certainly better than the alternative.
Do you feel silly about that? Because you shouldn't.
Not really.
But that seems like a thing you'd feel silly about because I know you.
Yes and no. I feel like it's one of those things. It's kind of like our engagement. I'll always regret that I didn't come up with some awesome thing. I wish we had a cool story about that time that I secretly arranged for a full choir to be there when you turned around the corner, or something ridiculous like that. Something more performative and showy.
That's alright, we didn't have any money anyways, really.
I didn't say it had to be a good men's choir. This really garbage group of dudes just started singing at us. I thought we were being attacked by an extremely festive gang. Michelle, my sister, absolutely knew what I liked. And she absolutely did set race. But then again, I knew what she liked. We were sort of in a bit of a Cold War standoff. Because I knew that she hated coconut, and I loved coconut. She knew that I hated peanut butter, and she loved peanut butter. She was a little peanut monkey, man. She could not get enough.
Didn't she used to wear like a Reese's shirt all the time?
Yes.
I thought I remembered that.
She would layer peanut butter on her s'mores between the chocolate and the graham cracker. Like peanut butter was her thing. But we both knew this about each other, which means that she knew that even though peanut butter was deeply valuable to her, it was essentially worthless to me. So me trying to offer her rates on peanut butter weren't valuable because I wasn't going to eat that shit anyway, so I wasn't losing anything. So I couldn't like trick her into overbidding to get the peanut butter she wanted because she knew that I was desperate to get rid of that shit. But I knew the same about her and coconut. So there were a few of those early years where we both walked away feeling like we had really screwed the other one over pretty good. Because look at this pile of coconut candy I got. Oh, man.
Take that.
And all I had to do was offload this worthless peanut butter nonsense. Oh, Adam, you're a genius. And she, I'm sure, was feeling the same. But then at some point we were like, wait a second. I'm getting played like a fool.
Did you really change your rates, or were you recognizing?
It settled into a pretty steady 1-for-1 after that.
One knee.
We didn't even include the peanut butter coconut issue in our regular trading regime because we just started off
by trading those.
First thing, we'd come to the table, we would each push our unwanted stuff to the other side. Just let her take it. She knew it was meaningless to me. I knew her coconut was worthless to her, so just be done with that and move along. Let's get to the real meat of it. What am I going to have to do to get into them Snickers?
That was a coveted candy.
I liked Snickers.
What is everybody's favorite candy, I'll ask?
Sub-question, do you still like it, or did you just
also,
like it when you were a
also
kid?
good question. Let's see here. Shadow's saying, don't worry about it, Adam. I asked Jamie to marry me after we got back from a trip, and she laughed at me. Oh, how cute. So sweet.
Sounds like a story that I would tell.
And Michelle used to have fights with the black and orange wrapped candies that nobody wanted. Everybody was.
We were talking about those earlier.
Oh my
Nobody
God!
liked those.
Fuck you, orange and black candies. God, you were the worst.
Oh, we hated
Who
them.
liked you? Who the fuck ever liked you? The worst candies in the world were you. And then, like, as a child, sometimes you're like, maybe I can try and eat this. And you'd be like, I hate it. It is candy. And then you'd be like, I hate this the whole time. It's like watching the cartoon in between the 3 cartoon blocks. Like, you like the first one, you hate the second one.
But you gotta do something while you wait.
But you gotta do something while you wait.
It is a cartoon.
And you really want to get to the 3rd, so I guess I'm going to stick around. So I guess I'm going to eat the orange and black candy. But I'm going to be mad. I'm going to like it, but I'm going to do
like
it.
You bastard.
Oh, Shadow's favorite was Twix.
Twix is an excellent choice. Excellent choice.
Twix is probably, I still love Twix very much.
It is
but
one
I
of
don't
the
really,
only candy types Comfort does still like.
I do, but I can't really eat it.
Explain
like, I can't
how you eat
candy.
a Twix.
So
Comfort.
the way that I eat a Twix, and you know, I've never been able to eat a bunch of candy, and because my metabolism dropped so quickly. So if I was going to not gain weight, I had to be very careful all the time. So the way that I eat a Twix, and if I were to eat a Twix now, like even a little fun size guy, like I'd eat off all the chocolate from the entire thing first. Like so it's layer by layer.
It's so great to watch, you guys. She eats a Twix like she's eating an ear of corn.
Yeah, kind of like,
just like
I'd assume like a small
nibbling.
mouse would eat a Twix. That's
exactly like a little mouse would eat a Twix.
Yeah, so that's how I eat the Twixes. So the chocolate goes first, and then I'll like take a while to lick down the caramel, or like I'll pick it off like slowly and eat the caramel like very slowly off of it, and then I'll enjoy the cookie part. What I had to do, and you know, this is just how I have to function, because I can't, like Adam could eat candy and stuff like a meal. Or ice cream like a meal. You could.
I could back when.
You can't do it now.
I don't think it would kill me today, but it just doesn't taste good enough to be worth it.
No. But since I couldn't do that, I had to be really careful. And so that just carries over to today's. I always have to be careful. So like if I get ice cream ever, and my favorite ice cream place in the world is a place called Jenny's Splendid Ice Cream. And they give these little scoops, and I like to take a tiny spoon and eat the ice cream with the tiny spoon. So I get to taste it, but I don't have to eat it like a meal. Adam's reading the stream.
Nobody wants to eat the orange and black candy, so you just chuck them at each other. It's like the Halloween version of a snowball fight.
That sounds about right.
Megan had to ask her husband, her taste in candy changes. But oh, remember Bonkers, if they brought those back. Oh boy. I do not remember Bonkers.
I'm trying to remember. Bonkers, what was that? It was sweet, right?
I mean, it's candy, so...
Well, I know that, but I mean like sweet, like fruity. I want to say it's fruity.
Bonkers candy.
What was it?
There were these little square tabby guys. That had like swirls of stuff in them. Mm-hmm. I vaguely remember those. Wow, Megan.
Yeah, I remember those. And they had like green apple flavor and stuff. Yeah, I remember they sold that at the candy shop called the Peanut Store, where we lived in Holland, Michigan.
Michelle's asking, do you prefer left or right Twix?
I have no preference, because at this point
she will inhale either.
I will inhale either, but if I eat a Twix now, like I don't think I've eaten a whole like large Twix. I don't know, probably in the neighborhood of 10 years.
Yeah.
Easily, or more. But I'll eat like a fun size candy Twix maybe once a year. That sounds about right. I seriously cannot eat many sweets. Like it just, me and sweets don't work out, you guys.
They're talking about the marshmallow peanuts. The orange marshmallow peanuts, I always thought they were called like carnival peanuts or something.
I hate those.
And yes, those are the worst. I would put those right on the level of the orange and black candy.
Yeah, I don't like either.
It's sort of the same.
I also don't like candy corn. I know some people like candy corn.
Candy corn, I don't care for. It's not as bad as those others. I can eat candy corn and be okay.
I don't like how waxy it tastes.
It doesn't have much of any flavor to it. Candy corn to me was sort of like pixie sticks. You're just eating straight raw sugar.
Yes.
There isn't much flavor here.
Candy technology really had changed.
Yeah.
Another thing I liked was Milky Ways a lot when I was a kid. I can't eat it now because it's too sweet, but I did really like that. Adam is reading the stream.
A lot of people commiserating on garbage candy. It's true, it was
Let's
bad.
see here.
It was not good stuff.
I'm trying to remember, like, the Bonkers thing makes me, like, think of all the old candies and stuff I used to get at this little candy store. Like, Bonkers was a candy. There's a thing called Laffy Taffy. Tangy Taffy. Laffy Taffy is the assy version of Tangy Taffy. How Laffy Taffy continued and Tangy Taffy didn't, beyond me. A travesty, if you ask me.
One probably bought out the other.
Probably.
And they're like, well, Laffy Taffy has a better sound to it.
Yeah, so we'll just keep making this ass candy because I'm sure it's cheaper to make than this other spectacular candy.
That is the driving force in candy production, is how cheap can we make this.
How shit can it be?
This is why basically no candy tastes really good anymore.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I don't know, like, did it taste really good before, or is it my child brain remembering things?
No, like, legitimately, they've changed the makeup of these candies. It is not the kind of quality ingredients they used to be.
C'est la vie. Oh, it's too bad. I'm sure kids don't really notice because they don't know, you know.
Well, kids these days don't have anything to compare it to.
Are you gonna do an old man rant?
Well, I mean, born too late. We were born too late to appreciate some things. Like, by the time we were alive, fast food was already kind of trash. But there was a time where you'd go to a McDonald's and get a for real burger.
That is true. I don't know how long that lasted though.
Maybe not for McDonald's, but some of those kinds of places. Food has been on a constant downward spiral in this country for quite a long time.
And Megan is right there with me. She cannot eat a whole lot of sweets all the time.
Yeah, I don't really, like, I could, I just don't enjoy it.
I don't think, too, like, if you ate a lot of sweets, like, all the time, I don't think even your body could handle it anymore. Like, I don't think it would burn the amount of calories that it would require you to burn to stay at the weight you are.
I don't know if it would hurt my weight, but it would certainly, like, hurt my
mental
health. Like, it's just so saccharine sweet. It's too heavy. I don't know who enjoys it that way.
I'm putting this on pause for a second because Comfort has to go pee.
Surprise!
I couldn't make it!
Surprise.
I couldn't make it! Oh my god!
Even the rat won't eat the sensei. Kilwins does have some quality sweets, Michelle. Yes. But that's sort of what you've got to do now, is go to the more, like, upscale kind of places if you want to have a desserty experience that's still worthwhile. So Randy is watching the James Cameron Avatar, which I really enjoy, but he has a complaint that is shared by many, that it is too much the same old kind of thing. It's an old story. And, you know, your mileage is going to vary on that. That didn't impact me too much because I've sort of reached the point where everything I watch feels like the same old story. You know, these are all recycled plots. These are all samey. It's less about what are you doing that's totally new and more about what are you doing with these things. And I so enjoyed the way that Avatar told its tale. The characters, the performances of the actors, that world. Oh, he brought me into that world to such an extent.
Adam,
now I think,
I'm giving Big Kitty, by the way, a drink.
Okay.
Can I get in here? Oh, would you just watch Big Kitty and go take him off the sink?
I don't. No, Cat is not in here.
Cat come in?
She did come in, but we kept the door out. Remember?
Oh,
We didn't put it in because Annie is not in. You saw her, but you didn't bring her in. Thank you for getting Big Kitty. He loves the sink, Grandma.
Yeah.
So here's where I think the sequels are gonna make the difference for Avatar, because I feel like that first movie serves a specific purpose. It has to be kind of simple because we have to love this world and the people in it. We have to be really connected and committed to them. You know, the first movie is never in a long series, the first movie is not the time to get into the full depth of complexities of the story. You look at Matrix was super simple in that first film. Most of the most interesting parts of Star Wars didn't show up until the second and third movie. That's just the way these things go. You start off with something simple to introduce the audience and to get them, you know, into the characters, into your world. And then with the later films, I'm not feeling good about this hand.
No, at least it'll get scanned and changed on the computer.
I'm taking him down to eat.
Okay.
I love drawing fantasy stuff. I hate drawing archery so much. Bow and arrow characters can all go blow. Ugh. So I think a lot of the first film of Avatar is going to be, in some ways, justified or not based on what happens in those later films. If the later films remain extremely simplistic, then I think, yeah, there's definitely a fairness to that argument that it's not doing anything valuable with these characters. But I think that the later movies are where you can expect to see more of the depth of the story begin to come out.
Right. Also, Cameron generally like has a real vision of what he wants, and like there's a classic story of Leonardo DiCaprio trying to change the character of Jack from Titanic, trying to make him more complicated.
Yeah, like, hey,
and
James,
blah, blah,
would
blah.
it be all right if we like looked at some of this dialogue and maybe brought something else in here so that to add just a little more dimension in this scene or that scene? He had to sit DiCaprio down and be like, no, man, that's not.
This is not the movie we're making.
That's not the movie. Jack isn't the character. Jack is the idea. Rose is the character. Jack is the fantasy that sets Rose free. He can't be this complicated, nuanced, challenging character
That I'm not sure how I feel about.
I'm not sure how I feel about. You have to know how you feel about Jack, because Rose has to know that she's committing to that future. And if you add,
She has to be sure about it.
she has to be sure. You're not representing a person right now. You're representing
An idea.
the idea of this better world she could be a part of, this better life she could have. You're not the man, you're an argument in her mind. And, seen from that point of view, it completely changes the nature of some of the characters in those films. So, it certainly wasn't his intention to take this long for these other movies to get made. And that's going to hurt it a lot.
But who knows? Maybe it's the Mad Max Fury Road. I don't know.
I could easily see
I mean,
that.
Cameron's the grandpa too now.
I could absolutely see that. Cameron is that kind of director. He's capable of that level of...
Cameron has actually only made a few movies in his career.
He has.
He's made... what was his first one?
Terminator.
Was
But I
Terminator
don't think
the
that was
first
his
one?
first.
I don't think
he
that
did
was
one
his first
film
either.
before Terminator.
Yeah, he
I
did
can't
one film
remember what.
before. So he did Terminator, then he did The Abyss, right?
Nope.
No?
Terminator, then Aliens,
Oh, then Aliens, then The Abyss.
then The Abyss.
And then, did he wait till T2? Then True Lies, Avatar. Does that sound right?
I feel like
6
there
or
might have
7
been something after The Abyss, but possibly not. Yeah, so it's just a handful of films in his oeuvre.
So, yeah. I mean, but each one of those movies is really good.
Extremely good.
He's also a designer as well. Like a concept designer, like artist. And he's really good. Like, you see his stuff and you're like, God damn it, man. What are you not good at? You son of a bitch. But that's probably why he can in part be so good. Or
Shadow liked that Jack was a local boy. He was from Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin, which is only an hour or two away from where they live.
That is hilarious. I love that.
Megan says, when I saw Titanic in the theater, my mom leaned over and said, "No man will ever do that for you."
What? What is that for real, Megan? What?
No man will ever do that. Don't you expect some boy to come along. He's got to be willing to do that for you. cowboys work. They're evil. They can't be trusted.
Honey, I would trust you to do that for me, but I'd be real pissed. I'm guessing the end scene with with Jack dying and Rose continuing to live. I'm guessing that's it. I don't know, Megan, tell us the specific moment where this happened.
Probably multiple moments.
Probably multiple moments, yes. Orgasms in a car.
No man will do that for you. The hand on the window. No man will do that for you.
There's just so many great points in that movie where no man will do that for you.
Men don't know how to.
Hilarious and depressing at the same time. You know, one of the things I remember young ladies coming out of that movie with is like, he's so vulnerable. He was shaking after he did it. It was amazing. I was like, yeah, that is pretty hot because he spent a lot of himself. Like,
I love just
well
picturing
done.
a little comfort, like, yeah, that was pretty hot.
Yeah, no, I agreed. I was like,
Let me explain for you why that was so attractive.
Yep. There are several things. I guess you could take a look at Adam and you could take a wild guess as to what some of the young Hollywood actors were that I grew up with that I was like, that person's attractive.
I mean, that presumes that you find me attractive.
I think you know.
Well, I know that, but, you know, there's people in rough circumstances out there. You don't know.
That's true, no?
Just because you married this guy doesn't
I
mean
did.
that this guy fits, like,
What?
your ideal
No.
was.
Oh, no. You definitely fit my ideal. I love you. I lucked out. When I first met Adam, I was like way out of my league, but I like him a lot. But I
Totally wrong.
took him I took a chance, and I was like, I'm gonna go for the top of my list.
Because I'm worth it. She'd been watching too many L'Oreal commercials.
I love you. Adam's gonna read the street.
Megan says I was 17, starting to date. She wanted to keep my expectations low, I guess. That's funny.
That is hilarious. But yes, I
Jonathan Brandis, Michelle asks?
Jonathan Brandis. He was handsome.
He was in
Ladybugs.
Sidekicks.
And the Ladybugs. And Never Ending Story 2, which I was highly disappointed by. But Jonathan Brandis, so I guess fine, but I was still not fine with it. I've always, even as a child, been more of a story person. Like, if the story doesn't work, then I am upset with you as a movie. Like, I gave very few passes.
This is true.
Young me and now me
Young Comfort
have
did not
a
know
lot
how
of
to have
correlation. Young Comfort wasn't going to lie to herself about the quality of a film when it wasn't good. Young Comfort was going to analyze everything. As we, for some of you who may have been here last night, established that Young Comfort watched, congressional hearings on video games. How old was I? Probably in the neighborhood of 11, something like that, maybe 12. But yeah, that was me. I was an odd kid. Oh, one of the things I was going to bring up with, what was it? The Jack character from Titanic. Is that character, I remember boys almost everywhere to a T having a fucking conniption fit over it.
All boys hated him.
Did you hate?
No.
Because
I thought it
were
was
you
great.
aware that were you conscious
I
hey,
was
that's
conscious.
my body type?
No.
No?
No, I did not compare myself to Jack. But
Okay.
I loved that movie. I cried like a fucking baby when I saw that movie. I liked it a lot. I was cognizant of the backlash it received. primarily because it was a movie targeting female moviegoers. That was primarily for the female audience, and since girls liked it, it had to be shitty, according to male logic, because men are assholes.
And so people had a conniption fit over that, but what I was going to mention was like the perception of, like guys' perception of what they think women find attractive. Like, there was a great, what was it? It was a, like, was it an article or a little posting or whatever that you read? And I'll explain what it is and then you can tell me. And it was of Wolverine. And it was two magazine covers with Wolverine on them.
This was an old Tumblr post. It was comparing a pair of magazines that had Hugh Jackman on the cover.
She's still out. So
One was a men's health and fitness magazine, and one was a modern housekeeping magazine. I'm like, one of these magazines is targeting a male readership, and what do? We get a jacked up Hugh Jackman, his muscles like shredded and rippling, sweaty and greasy,
got
like
that angry face on,
looking ready to hurt somebody. You know, the Wolverine claws are out, like he's just looking tough and nasty and raw. The same month this Good Housekeeping article comes out, and they're saying, here's a publication that's targeting female readers. And here we have Hugh Jackman, pleasantly smiling, wearing a powder blue sweater, standing in a kitchen. Mm-hmm. You know, looking like...
Hair nicely coiffed.
Nicely combed, shaved, looking generally, to all the world, like hot daddy.
Yeah. Like, this man is going to make you pancakes in the morning.
Right. And it shows the difference between, and really puts the lie to the idea that the over-buffed, extreme, powerhouse male physique popularized in, you know, comic books and that kind of thing is really not about sexualizing men for the sake of women. Because if you're trying to provide an image that women want to see, that is completely wrong. You are missing the mark by a mile and a half. But yeah, it is funny when you think about just how different it is.
Yeah, and I remember being told oftentimes that character of Jack, so this movie's going gangbusters and girls love it, and guys would always be like, that character of Jack, that's not what women want to see.
Which is dumb. I never heard that argument.
I did hear that argument.
I heard the argument.
I heard a big rant in the comic book store.
Well,
once. I mean, that was there.
I'd be surprised if those guys had ever met a woman besides you.
True.
But no, what I heard more often is just that women are dumb for liking that kind of guy, because that kind of guy is dumb.
That guy is not me, so therefore dumb.
He's dumb, and you're dumb for liking it.
Gosh! Let's see here.
Still recommending Console Wars. Yeah, I have heard good things. It's a period in history that I'm fascinated by, and I've read many articles about things that happened during that period.
Man, these Ghostbusters are taking a goddamn long time to draw. Like, it's not terrible, but it's still, I'm a solid hour and a half into this, and I am not inked. I will warn everybody already, I'm not finishing this evening. It shall not happen. How are you coming, honey?
I feel like I need to replace the ink in this pen, possibly.
Which one you got?
My 5 is...
My 5 is pretty good here, and it did have the ink replaced, so you should replace your ink, I think.
It's getting a finer edge than my 3. So
yeah, that means that the inkwell must be replaced. Yeah, because we have one 5, which is the 5 I think I've got here, and that's great. So time to go replace things. I'm drawing Egon, who is my favorite Ghostbuster.
My favorite too.
Also, another thing while I was drawing this, because I laid out Egon and I laid out Winston. Which is probably my number 1 and number 2 favorite Ghostbusters, but Egon, like, his teeth come forward a lot when he talks. So even in the drawing here, I made sure to bring his teeth forward a little bit and his front teeth back a bit.
All right, Megan's taking off to watch the second episode of Sabrina on Netflix. I am curious to watch that.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it.
Have a fun time.
We like that actress a lot. We loved her in Mad Men.
And 2, as people get tired, you do not need to stick around. At a certain point, we will call it here anyways. So, this is just a long slog of me and Adam talking about rando stuff, huh, honey?
Rando. Yeah. Get this ink replaced.
Good job, honey. Good job. So who are you working on now? Are you working on Legolas? Is he shooting stuff?
I mean, he's got the bow ready to shoot stuff.
Just looking at what I drew here, I'm definitely, like, I think most comfortable drawing Egon. I think Egon's going to be my favorite of all my Ghostbusters drawings.
Well, good. That's what you want.
It's for your favorite
to be the best. It's for your favorite to be the one that turns out the best. Because they're your favorite. If your favorite is the one that you like the least, it's always disappointing.
That is true.
I know this because I'm almost always disappointed by how I do my favorite characters in a given drawing.
Oh, honey bear. I feel like you put too much stress on yourself for...
Oh, I unquestionably do. I always choke when I'm working on something I'm really excited for. Not always, that's not true.
It's a thing that you can do.
But yes, it definitely can happen. It happens frequently enough that I need to, work on that.
Mm-hmm. You know, something that I loved as a child, but I don't want to ever go back to, is the real Ghostbusters.
I never liked that show.
Did you not like that show?
Yeah, I never did.
Did you get used to the monkey one, or did you...
No, I just liked the actual Ghostbusters, and the cartoon felt too, like, I don't know, goofy. I don't know. Like I said, though, I didn't come out of the Ghostbusters movie feeling like I had to have more Ghostbusters. I was like, this movie's great and pretty much perfect. And it's like when you eat a really good meal and you feel like I can push away from the table now. I don't need to eat more. That was perfect.
It's true. It's a nice feeling. Alright, Adam, we need a new topic.
Shadow's probably going to watch more Tales from the Crypt after this.
Oh, wow.
Or maybe more Bar Rescue. Works in
Bar Rescue?
He works in a bar, so it's a very relatable show.
That's a thing? That's a show?
They take,
People?
fallen apart old dives and put them back together again.
Oh, I was going to say, like, do they make sure people go home, or, they take people's keys? And that's Bar Rescue? I mean, that was...
I don't think it's the same. I'm also
that was
pretty
where
sure,
my mind went immediately.
I'm also pretty sure it's not a show where they, people have kidnapped others and are held up in a bar.
Hence Bar
And
Rescue.
they have to send in the SWAT team to rescue them from the bar. I don't think that's how it works.
I mean, it could be. Could be.
It certainly could be.
Shoot, I have to pee again. God damn it. Curses! Say yeah.
This is her life, everybody.
This. My poor bladder. Killing me.
So we're gonna get to do some gaming tomorrow. Getting the gang together for our tabletop session. We play very seldom, but when we do, it is an all-day affair. Friends are coming over early in the afternoon, and we are going to be at it for, 10, 11 hours, probably, at least. We have a good time. It's been quite a while since the last session, but it was an intense one. The entire society is about to change. The question is, what will it change into?
I'm drinking a lot of water. It's partly where this is coming from.
You should know better than that.
Well, I'm thirsty, honey. I cannot help myself. Great. Here we go. All right, now it's time for Bill Murray. Now it's time for Peter Venkman. All right. So are you ready for gaming, honey?
Yeah.
Is Randy still here or no?
Don't know.
Are you ready to fight a giant demon? Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I do have that feeling.
Oh, I know. I know that's what's happening.
One way or the other, huh?
Oh, yep. Like, I think I could try and have my character set this one out, like, in protest. But, no, I don't think it's...
In protest of what?
Protest, like, you know, just she was all huffy about getting here and the world ending. She wasn't happy with the world ending.
I love my wife, but she's a nightmare player, guys. I was huffy about the world ending, so I might just sit this fight
I'm
out.
not going to sit it out. I'm not going to. I'm just saying the character is very frustrated. It's quite annoyed. She was having a time.
Trying to think, and I'm pretty sure, as I think back, all of my hardest times running a game have been because of some crap you pulled.
Really?
I feel
really?
Like, well, maybe not all.
No, I will.
Brent has caused some trouble.
I will veto that, and
Brent
so has
caused
Ruben.
some trouble. Ruben caused some trouble. Boy, nobody fights a game master like you fight a game master.
I love you.
Your character will argue until you, the player, are blue in the face.
I love
to
you.
get things to go the way you think they ought to go.
I love you very much. And I don't argue with David at all. I just do things.
We haven't played enough.
I think
You did put your character in situations where there was no reason why she wouldn't be expelled.
It's true. It's true. Luckily, the other characters are are trying to help said problem child because they recognize the sad situation that she's in, seeing as their parents are in Azkaban.
I mean, it's not like they didn't do something.
Sure. I mean, they did. But I always felt that Dumbledore, through David's game, was trying to do things the right way versus All Might in My Hero.
Shadow, have you played the Ghostbusters board game? Is it good? I've seen it, and it's really impressive looking, but I don't know if it's a good game to play. I desperately want to do a board game night, you guys, but I don't have anybody. Well, we have some people we could maybe try and play with. I don't own any board games, not like real ones. I own the kind of like nonsense, like the game of life kind of stuff.
I think we also have to have a thing called time.
Well, we have people together for TV on occasion. We could play games one of those nights. But it's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if people would enjoy it the way I would be enjoying it. If anybody else would care like I care. If the kind of games that I would be most excited to play are the kind of games that other people would enjoy. But I see something like that Ghostbusters board game and I'm like, oh, that looks like it would be a good time. I don't know. I don't know how it plays. See, and it's cooperative. Work with your friends to capture the ghost. Oh, God, I want it.
Oh, honey. I love you.
Hey, what does it mean?
I know you do. It's not happening anytime soon. But I appreciate that you want it. Alright. Look at me. So close. Oh, Bill Murray. You are fantastic. And I also like how Bill Murray is always like fine. Like everybody else is covered in goo, but Bill Murray's like cool.
Yeah. He's got like
he always gets the least amount.
Well, he did get full on slimed. He was the one of them who got fully slimed.
Fair. Alright. So if you notice, I have not been putting any of the really thick lines on this because I'm leaving that for the very end.
Why are you doing that, Comfy?
Because I can do it all at one time.
Oh.
Because it's efficiency, you guys.
What do fish have to do with anything?
My favorite is you. So the idea that I have for the color for this is that it's going to have a green background. And that green background is going to rim light all these guys so that all of them have that nice, you know, cool ghosty-ish look while still being fun and warm, you know, in the front, because the complementary color to green is red. So if their, you know, rim is green, then their center is going to be a little bit more red. So I think it's going to look really, really good when it's all done. I am pretty excited. Bill Murray, you are fabulous, but you are a super schlubby guy.
Yes, he has always looked like an old ass man. He was 34 when they made Ghostbusters.
Really?
And he looks about 46.
Wow. Oh my god, it's weird to think how young he was in comparison to us, and he still looked like this.
Yeah.
Were they all the same age? Like basically?
Probably in that range. I don't know. I looked him up because I was curious.
You're like, what could he be? And you're like, what? Were you shocked and amazed?
I was, yeah. I mean, not overwhelmingly so, but yes. It was a surprise.
So how old is Bill Murray now, do you think?
He was born in like 1950.
Really? Okay. So he's older than my mom by 2 years.
He is 68.
68. Damn. That is crazy to think that Bill Murray is 68. Let's see here.
Well, how old would you think he is?
Oh. So there's a few things on the stream. Yeah, that Ghostbusters game sounds super awesome, Shadow. Ah, man. Michelle's saying open game night invite. Though my friends are scared to come over now. We have a history of record snowfall on the nights they finally show up. Ooh, that sucks. I'm sorry. But Michelle is getting really good at helping friends out of the driveway.
Well, that's a good skill to have.
And Shadow's saying, if you didn't live in Wisconsin. And Shadow says, no one lives here. Yeah.
Well, but Jack from Titanic lived close.
That's true, that's true. Michelle's saying, get your swimmings on and come on over. We're there, Michelle, we're there. I think the thing really, mostly gets us is, it's a lot of the time, like, it's hard to start setting up things and making stuff a habit, because there's always some new adventure that has to get done, like, thing that gets dropped in your lap, and you're like, oh, I didn't mean to do this, but here I am. Alright. Whoa. Look. So close. Doing Bill Murray's hair now. OMG.
That wispy mess on his head.
Yes. That.
I am doing the final outline for Legolas.
Gasp!
He took way less time than Gimli.
Who are you doing next?
Eowyn.
Ooh. So how are you on the other, digital stuff? Like, are you done with the digital?
No, I was doing this instead because it was the only way
No.
I
I mean, how... Okay, so you're not done with it, but how close are you?
I don't know. Hard to say. I feel like I'm pretty close.
Decently close. I am probably going to stay up later after the stream is done and go back to working on Lord of the Rings myself.
Company really wants this print done.
I do. I'm gonna try. So I'll tell you, Adam, what I was thinking for the color. So I was thinking of looking at, not the same, but some, like either the Alan Lee or John Howe paintings, like a little bit, something like that.
I don't know if it would fit our style.
Well, see, what I was wondering is if we could do something a little bit more, like, ever so slightly washy. Like, how, who was the cover artist? James Jean for Fables?
Yeah, I know.
And, he'd have a bit of a washy style,
I was
even though it
thinking
was digital.
of approaching this very much more of a...
Well, what's your thought? Yeah.
If I was saying it. Approaching it more of a... Art Nouveau kind of thing, which would be kind of a washy effect.
Yeah, I think we can make this happen.
I don't know why it is, but when you get really enthusiastic about finishing something, I get nervous.
I love you so much. Are you my favorite, sir? Do you love me most still?
Well, yes. That doesn't mean you don't scare me. I'm not a husband in this country. Doesn't love his wife and fear her a little bit.
Just a little bit. All right. Oh, look at me. Oh, look at me. So magical.
Phenom. It's a late night because we don't usually stream on Saturday, but Comfort's doing the Patreon exclusive stream over on her side.
Which is
so there's
where
a lot of
most the
people over
other
there. A lot of people are over there watching her working. And I just figured since I was doing this anyway, I might as well just throw Twitch on so people could come and hang out if they wanted to, but we weren't really promoting it, so it's just kind of a spur of the moment thing.
There's no thing on the internet that is a link to Twitch that says, hey, we're doing this. And also, Twitch doesn't send out messages to most people.
True.
That we are actually streaming. So I would guess of all the people who have followed us on Twitch, I would say maybe 0.025% actually get messages.
I have no way of gauging. Who knows? So yeah, this was just sort of a last minute thing.
Twitch used
Figured
to be,
what the heck.
yeah, Twitch used to be a thing that was a lot more convenient, and you could really build something without being on Twitch every moment of every day. But I think Twitch at this point rewards you for being there every moment of every day, almost exclusively. So unless Twitch is your life, Twitch is not very rewarding. So the point is, unless we're talking about this in the land of Facebook and Twitter and what have you, nobody knows.
Bear in mind, everybody, that Comfort is saying is based on no research.
Yeah.
This is a guesstimation.
Guesstimating by the fact that we get no notifications for any of the people we're following
Yes, we
on
do.
Twitch.
And you know we do. I've shown
We
you the
got
notifications.
one for David the other day.
We get them all the time. Would they just go to our phone?
I don't know.
Because we're never looking at our phone, we don't get them, or we don't notice that they're there.
All right. I'll have to look. We'll have to see. I don't know.
We were just getting one for Carson today.
Maybe so. Maybe you're right. We'll see, but there's a lot of people who've been messaging us saying, why aren't you going on Twitch anymore? And I say, we are. And they say, no, you're not. I never get a notification. So I don't know. I could be very, very, very wrong. But that's my knowledge of people who message me and say, why is no messaging? And also...
Wait, they message you to say, why are there no messages?
They message me to say, why are you not on Twitch anymore? That's what they message to say. And I say, it's probably just that you're not getting any notifications. They're like, yes, I'm not getting any notifications. I'm like, I don't know how to fix that. But yes, people have gone through with me like that, you know, why are we not on Twitch anymore? Well, there it is. So it's a long-winded answer to say, that's why it's a quiet night. Adam is reading the stream. Adam is reading the stream some more. Clicking down. I don't need to narrate things.
What is each of our favorite colors? Green. I think green is my favorite color.
So it's like asking me to choose my own child. I love colors so much. I don't know. Honey, I don't know what my favorite
Comfort
color
loves
is.
all of the colors.
It's like asking me what my favorite genre of things is. I don't know. I like good TV and movies. Good comics. Ah, God. My favorite. What could that be? You know, I think I like using purple a lot, and I use purple.
Going to say purple was yours.
I use purple in my shadows almost all the time. So I'm gonna say I like purple, and I use a lot in the art, probably more so than any color. So purple by default is my favorite color.
Purple is absolutely one of my favorite colors.
I think you also like blue.
Blue is absolutely one of my favorites as well. I like all the cool colors best.
Like cool as in Daddy-O.
Phenom's notification problems are mostly on YouTube, but yeah, a number of people talking about having notification problems.
Yeah, I don't get any notifications for YouTube either.
Yeah.
Like, I think the thing with Twitch is that, you know, the people who watch us on Twitch watch us. They don't watch other people.
That's not true. I know
Or not
there's-
a bunch of other, but the point is they're not on Twitch all the time to see. Like, they don't go to Twitch to say who's on now. They're only going to Twitch when somebody gets a notification. And YouTube, like, there's a lot of times where you're like, hey, what's on YouTube because I've got 5 minutes. Like, Twitch is a lot more of an investment, I think, of time. So some of the easy breezy kind of stuff that you would get with YouTube, because I've got 5 minutes, you're not going to get with Twitch. And so you wait for those notifications to say who is going on. I do like to get the notifications too for YouTube, but I don't think we really get notifications for almost anybody. I think sometimes we get it for a place called Red Letter Media. But
Yeah, that's pretty much the only one that
yeah,
we
I
get
think that's the
regular
only one we
notifications
get.
from anymore. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I had notifications turned on for a bunch of stuff.
But no, so you have to sort of go and see what shows up in the feed. Like, Facebook still gives a 1,000,000,001 notifications.
Yeah, Facebook
So-
gives way the fuck too many notifications.
Yeah. Facebook has a ton of them. So why do these other things, like, either have a hard time giving notifications, or do they turn off for people? Like, see, that's the thing that sort of gets me, is why does one work in your email and one not work in your email? You know, I get a lot of little political notifications that I'm surprised that we still get because I never click on them, but yet we still get them all the time. Like, there's nothing to stop those.
Oh, sure.
So why not these other things? What a bird walk. Phenom, you didn't come here for this, but yet that's what you got. That was a good question, whoever asked about whose color was favorite. I just like talking about color in general.
Phenom's
And how
sister
color
loves
works.
purple, but not for everything. Yeah, you gotta be careful with purple. It's not an all the time kind of thing, unless you're Sam Jackson.
I don't feel like any color is everyday food either. That's the hard thing of choosing a favorite color.
I don't know. That's one of the things I like about green is there are
Really?
so
You think
many
that
different
there's a green?
variations and shades, and similarly with blue. Blue's probably my number 2. There are so many shades and variations of it that you can find a way. You can find a good green for almost anything.
I think a color that I am interested in, but I don't use as much because it's harder to use, is orange.
yes, orange is hard to use. I don't even like orange because it's so hard to use. Orange doesn't go with almost anything.
You have those rare cases where orange really just, it works for something and they're like, yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to color match, it's hard to work with. Orange can be just it can be a problem color.
When I meet people whose favorite color is orange, I'm like, how? What did you see orange do that made you like it? Because I have never seen orange do anything interesting.
I love you.
It's true. As a color, I've never seen orange used in a way that's like, ooh, damn, check out that orange. It just doesn't stand out to me.
I think orange can be a fun color. Like, I really like Nickelodeon's use of orange. Like, they were able to take a problem color and really work with it.
I feel like orange is most often an obnoxious color. Like, way too bright. But that's not always the case, obviously. There are some really good uses of orange. They're just, it feels rare to me.
There's exception to the rule.
It feels rare to me. That's all.
Adam didn't see this, but I made a little border and it has the little Ghostbusters symbol on it.
Actually, I did see that.
You did?
before.
Did you like it?
When you printed it out.
You think it's cute?
Looks nice. Comfort's good with borders.
I like making nice borders.
She was really sad when the store shut down.
I love you.
Thank God.
Just my favorite. So much my favorite. Okay. Almost done with my little Ghostbusters guy here. And that means I'm going to do thick outlines. And that means that the inks are going to be done. So who are you working on, Adam, now? A1?
Yep.
Hey, do you have the
Anime
Louisville?
Central is near Chicago, but it's actually in the
Rosemont.
suburb of Rosemont, which is well out of the city and should not have too much of a social anxiety issue for you. There's really not much around in Rosemont.
Who is this here? Shadow?
Shadow, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to go into the city. You don't have to deal with
No.
Chicago as such.
No, it's so far out of anything with the city. Like, I just wouldn't worry at all.
Ooh, Sunset Orange is a good one. That's easily my favorite of the oranges. In the context of a sunset, orange is a wonderful color. Also, in the context of turning leaves in the fall, orange is a wonderful color. Yeah, there are definitely places I really like orange. It's just not a color that jumps out at me as being, in itself, a particularly great color, I guess. But boy, when it works, it is pretty gorgeous.
Indeed. Look at all these wonderful thick lines that are being put on. It's just fantastic. Yay! All right. So did we look up, Adam, what time we have to game tomorrow morning?
Oh, no, we didn't.
Think we need to probably do that.
Yeah,
Sir.
we need to be ready.
Yeah.
We
I might get this inked and then finish this on a future stream.
We are used to something close to a second shift kind of a schedule. Like, we don't really get our day going. We don't get out of bed until 10:30.
I've even
it
been
takes a
doing
little
that.
while.
Usually I'm at 9 o'clock. I was more close. I was 9:30 this morning.
And then it takes a
But-
little while to actually get rolling with stuff in the morning, for me at least.
I do
So I'll get up at
emails
10:30,
immediately.
but it's closer to 11 before I'm really conscious. And then we have breakfast and you're like, we'll start our work day around 1-ish.
Yep.
1-ish, 2 o'clock. So for most people, that's like well ass into the day. You're almost out of work. You're cruising towards your afternoon jam time. we're just getting started, so
And we go to
we need,
late at night.
I don't remember if it was earlier, like at noon, or if it was like at 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, somewhere in that period. Eastern time, yes, Eastern time.
Yeah. So for me, if I've been able to sleep well during the night and there hasn't been like cat activity or whatever, which has been the thing that's been disturbing my sleep cycle recently.
Yeah.
But so if there's none of that, I need about 6 hours. And if I can do a nice solid 6 hours, like I'm up and I'm ready to go. So I'm in bed around 2 or 3 in the morning, and then I'm up around 9:30. And so immediately when I get up, it's time for messages. Like, people will notice if you start getting emails or messages back from me, like there's this block of time where I start replying to people, and that's my morning messages. And then if I'm lucky, I get done and have a little bit of time to just do some drawing or prepping of stuff, and then I wake Adam up at 10:30. Because Adam has a little bit of game time at night.
I do. It's the only time I get to just goof off for a significant period of time.
Alright. Oh, so close. So close.
I agree with you, Phenom. Eowyn was extremely important to the Lord of the Rings series. I think she's one of, if not the most interesting character that series produced.
Word.
She was one of the only ones with a defined personality within the books. Like somebody who really was somebody, and not just sort of a theoretical somebody. Like Legolas, Gimli, they don't really have much by way of dialogue. They don't have much by way of like actions they're doing on the page. It's more of like an implied characterization. But characters like Eowyn, I feel like you actually get to know her. She is somebody.
Feel like you really like Gandalf.
I would say the same with Faramir too, actually. Faramir was pretty
Fleshed
well
out.
defined within that series.
Especially for that series.
Yes, because it was not a series of novels that was particularly interested in its characters.
It made a really awesome world.
Yes.
This is why D&D is so awesome.
Sure, because it just takes that and says, how would you like to play in it?
They're like, yeah, sweet, let's do it. Let's make a whole thing. And everybody's like, yes! So fantastic! I love seeing big Lord of the Rings fans though. Like, my mom is a huge Lord of the Rings fan. Stephen Colbert is famously a giant Lord of the Rings fan and is hilarious. Adam's reading the screen.
Yes, exactly. As much a travel log as a story. It is chiefly interested in establishing a background for a set of languages. And every now and then it likes to describe a background for 7 or 8 pages. He was very much into his vistas. And if there was time, he might write some dialogue or explain a character in some interesting way, but it did not happen often.
Wasn't his jam.
I am a heretic that thinks that the films were a much better job at telling the story than the books were.
Well, there's a lot of little times where, for that book and other books too, like the latter Game of Thrones, you read them and you're like, I would maybe want to take an editor's pen to this.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody should have said no. One of the most valuable things is we have people who will sometimes tell us we're dumb.
Yeah. Phenom's been getting so many phone calls for political surveys.
Oh boy.
Says if it's not a recording, I'd like to talk to them. So do we, actually.
I think it's important to talk.
I do. I think it's important that sane people get to have a say in some of these surveys, so that when they're calculating and making some decisions about what they should be talking about, because here's what people are interested in, it's not just a bunch of nut jobs.
Or grandmas.
Or grandmas, yes.
Grandmas and grandpas and nut jobs. Here's what the country thinks. Is it... Like, I remember we didn't start getting phone calls until we hit 30.
And I was like, why would you... And it's because they're only calling people that fit within a block that they feel are likely voters. And young people aren't likely to vote. You stupid young people.
Well...
But because you're not likely to vote, they don't give a damn about what you think or feel. Who cares? Your thoughts and feelings don't make a difference to them, because the odds are you're not going to show up at the polls.
It's frustrating because I always voted, and I was like...
So did I.
And I was like, I would very much like to be a part of these surveys. I remember the first time we got asked. I was like, yes, ask me questions. I would love to answer them. Thank you.
But yeah, so when we get the chance to be part of one of those surveys, I feel like it's important that we, allow our opinions to be
that
part
you represent
of the calculus that they're making of, okay, well, what do we prioritize?
Okay, so Mr. Withers, it is 11:08 here. I'm going to put my final line on. Should we see what time game stuff is happening tomorrow?
Go look it up.
Because we need to have this at a decent... We need to start getting other things set if, things are outside. Because usually we start at 2, but my guess, I think we start at noon or something of that nature.
Phenom, I agree. The questions can be so obviously slanted. It is just hugely frustrating. I can tell within the first couple questions which political team is writing this survey. Because I'm like, you clearly want me to say something in particular. A lot of these surveys, they're not even interested in getting your actual
answers. It's not about
answers.
the statistics of it.
They just
about
want
moving you.
Yeah, they want to sway you. And so they design these questions so that you're like, wait, what? That's happening? Oh my gracious, I had no idea. Well, I'm definitely against that. Yes, the sort of have you stopped beating your wife yet kind of questions. Like, that's an extremely leading question, and I don't appreciate it.
Okay.
Where would I find it? It's probably going to be on Facebook, right?
It's in Facebook, yes.
I'll have to excuse me while I look up what
So
time
it's
we're going to
going
have
to
a bunch
be
of
the
people over
Randy,
tomorrow
like
morning.
it's the group conversation.
Yeah.
And it was just
I figured.
recently happening.
Yeah, that's right.
And I was suggesting that, because Mark wants fancy pizza or fancy something, and I was suggesting Stella's in the Mitten. And Mom and Dad would go get it.
The mitten is really good.
Mitten is really good.
Pickle pizza? Who was... Good Lord.
I didn't even know that was a thing. And luckily we don't have to eat that because he thinks the Mitten looks good. But I also gave Stella's because we were thinking that we might want Stella's today. And then I was like, hey, we're going to be gaming tomorrow. What about this place? Stella's is a place that does, it's really cool. It's like it's a burger joint that's like stepping into a 1983 arcade. It's super punk rock, and the food is very good, especially if they do not put hot sauce on everything, which is sometimes what they do, and I am annoyed because I don't like my food scalding hot. But other than that, it's really good if they don't make it scalding hot. Are you seeing?
Looks like noon.
Noon. Okay, so what do you want to do, buckaroo?
Ugh, that's a rough one. I mean, it's up to you.
I I think because I'm done inking this, I'm going to make an executive decision, and everybody's been around for a long time here tonight, to just call it.
Okay.
Because we've been going for 2 hours now.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some cleaning stuff and some other things that we have to get set for tomorrow, that otherwise we're not going to want to wake up or like strangely out of time. Like we're going to want, and we're dumb too. We're going to want a small nap. We're going to want to wake up. We're going to want to eat, and then we're going to want a tiny nap before everybody shows up. So we have to be on the ball tomorrow. So, anyways, this is the Ghostbusters piece here, guys. Let me see how I can put this out. I've got my pen in my mouth. Okay. There you go. Oh, shit. I think that's gonna look great. It's gonna be awesome. Oh. Who wins this, Adam?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we gotta do the
Can you quick roll that
roll
out?
off. All right, let me just finish this banded armor.
Get the
here
die
real
out.
quick. Gonna want my dice at the ready for tomorrow anyway.
That's true. And for anybody who doesn't win, don't worry, there are still many chances to win things.
This is true.
And eventually, if we get to not the next goal, but the goal after that, so the next goal we're very close to, but the goal after that, everybody will get 1 print a month of anything you want that we've ever done.
Everybody at 25.
Everybody at 25, right? Sky is the limit. And quarterly, I believe something like that, we'll do another big print, and everyone gets to vote on what big print we do. So that's pretty sweet. So no matter what, you're gonna get something. And like, if say you don't win the Ghostbusters, you can get it as a print later. So all of these things will be options. All of our other commissions from before will be options. I'm tempted to do a drive at some point, Adam, to get people to sign up for the $25 thing. To try and get to the...
Okay, let's see.
You have your dice, Mr. Withers.
All right, we have 11 people. So here's how we're gonna do it. Actually, wait, I think we've only got 10. I'll go and check that again. But I have, either way, I've got a system. Well, technically, yeah, okay, so 11 people, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna roll 2d6, which means you have 11 options between number 2 and number 12.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna
I'm
have
gonna
Comfy
roll 'em.
roll this.
I'm gonna roll it, and then you're gonna go check the list.
I'm going to check the list, yeah.
Okay.
Roll these bones, baby.
I got a 1, I got a 5, I got 6.
6.
What's 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got Isaac. Isaac takes it this month.
I don't think he's still here. He
Probably
was here
not.
earlier.
He was in early on. He might not still be around, but Isaac is our winner this month.
I hope he voted for Ghostbusters.
I hope so too, because he's getting them. Who wouldn't like the Ghostbusters, though? I ask you.
You know,
I don't care who you voted for.
Everybody, the vote was very split this time.
It was like,
incredibly
man,
so.
people spread the vote really thin. There were a lot of options that people really wanted to see. I feel like this is a month that people are walking away with a lot of good commission ideas.
Somebody commission us for cereal monsters.
Somebody commission us for the cereal monsters, please. Yeah. Oh, that would be so much fun.
All right, well, this is going to be awesome, and it will be finished on a future stream because it's just too much to finish, and we have an insane...
Honestly, we should have gotten it inked up earlier, but we were tight for time today.
Tight for time. Today was a weird day. But anyways, you guys have all been fantastic.
As you always are.
Thank you for sticking around, being here. Oh, it was between Ghostbusters and Buffy. Isaac is here.
Hey!
Yay!
Oh, he did do. All right. Nice. Great. Well, I'm glad it's going to somebody who really wanted it.
Yep. So, again, if you didn't win this, I hope we reach that point on the Patreon where everybody just gets a cool print of their own every month.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to just give people stuff.
Yes. It just has to be worth it for us to take the time and track down the files
and the shipping and everything.
Blah, 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 blah.
Shipping ain't nothing.
Yes, shipping ain't nothing. So that's where we're at. Well, good job, you guys. Thank you so much. Isaac, we will be in touch to send this over to you. So that was awesome. You guys are great.
Thanks for a good night, everybody.
Whee! Adios, everyone.
And thanks to everybody watching us on Twitch.